size. Only about 3.7 to 4.7 centimeters long. Their most distinctive feature is their white fur covering their entire body. Their noses and ears are bright yellow, especially their noses. Its snout looks a bit like a pig's nose. Since the birth of our Earth, it has nurtured approximately 5 to 10 billion species. Among them, 99% have diminished over time. And among those diminished species, some have been rediscovered and appeared again in our lives. From wild boars with striking appearances, to the world's largest bee, then to the bat with white fur. In this video, Mingxin will bring you 15 creatures that were once thought to be extinct, but have been rediscovered. And these creatures, you may be seeing for the first time. If you're new here, welcome to subscribe to my channel. Remember to turn on the notification bell. This way, you'll be the first to see more exciting content. Alright. Let's start our story now. Number 15. The rat. This is a very unique animal. They live in old limestone mountain areas. It likes to move around in forests and caves. This small animal has large, round ears, long whiskers, a fluffy tail, and soft black-gray fur. Its size is about the same as a regular squirrel. It mainly feeds on plants, especially leaves, shoots, and fruits. They are generally nocturnal. During the day, they rest in burrows. The creature was only discovered by scientists in 2005. It immediately sparked their interest, because its family, the Leonastidae, was thought to have gone extinct about 11 million years ago, and this creature belongs to the only surviving species. Therefore, the rodent was dubbed a living fossil by scientists. Its discovery holds significant value for the study of ancient organisms. However, before being discovered by scientists, the long-tailed rat had always been a part of the local diet. Hunting and consuming wild animals is extremely common in these regions. Since its discovery, calls for the protection of this endangered species have risen online. Scientists and conservation organizations hope to promote awareness through education and outreach, reduce rat predation, to protect this rare species. Number 14. Pink iguana. The pink iguana is an extremely rare animal. Only noticed by scientists in 1986. This creature lives on the Galapagos Islands in Ecuador. Mainly concentrated around Wolf Volcano. The creature's name comes from its unique pink skin, which also has black stripes that make it very eye-catching. They have a relatively large body size. Adult lizards can grow up to around 1.2 meters. This is an herbivorous animal, feeding on various plants, flowers, and fruits. During the dry season, they also obtain water by gnawing on cacti. Due to habitat limitations, the pink iguana population is extremely small. It's estimated that fewer than 200 remain. The main reason is due to invasive species, such as cats and rats, which pose a threat to their eggs and young. Additionally, human activities have also put pressure on their survival. To protect endangered species, scientists and conservation organizations are taking various measures, including strengthening protections for the Wolf Volcano area, to prevent human interference, and taking steps to control and eliminate invasive predators on the island, protecting lizard eggs and young. Reddit, Galapagos National Park. Ranked 13th. Wallace's giant bee. Wallace's giant bee. It is the largest bee species in the world, measuring approximately 4 centimeters in length, with a wingspan of about 6 centimeters. By comparison, an ordinary bee is only 1.5 centimeters long. This bee prefers to build its nest in white nests in trees. It builds its nest using resin and wood shavings. This protects itself and its brood. This nesting behavior is very rare, because most bees don't live in white nests. Wallace's giant bee is mainly found in the Maluku Islands of Indonesia. Specifically on the islands of North Maluku province, such as Bacan. These islands are their primary nesting grounds. In 1858, British naturalist Alfred Wallace first discovered this giant bee. He then named it after himself. However, in the following decade, scientists scarcely saw the species again. Due to a long absence of new discoveries, many people believe this bee might have gone extinct. Until 1981, American entomologist Adam Messer rediscovered this giant bee. in the Maluku Islands of Indonesia, proving that they still existed. Then, in 2019, a team of researchers rediscovered the Wallace's giant bee again, successfully captured photos and videos of them. This is the first recorded sighting of these giant creatures in nearly 40 years. Number 12. Babirusa. Also known as the deer pig. It's a very unique type of wild pig, found on Indonesia's Sulawesi Island and nearby small islands. They look very different from typical wild pigs, especially those strange tusks. A male boar's upper canines grow out of its mouth, curving backward, even piercing its own nose and skull, like it's wearing a strange headdress of its own making. And above their noses, they also have a pair of strange bony growths, making them look even more bizarre. These long tusks and special horns are used in courtship and fighting. They have multiple uses in defense and display. Firstly, during mating season, male babirusas attract females by displaying their tusks, showing off their health and strength. The longer the tusks, the greater the chance of attracting females. Secondly, these tusks play both defensive and offensive roles in competitions and fights between males. When males compete over mates or territory, they use these tusks to push and butt each other. In addition, the tusks serve as a threat to other animals and rivals, making it look more imposing, and reducing direct conflict with other males or potential predators. The creature prefers to live in tropical rainforests, swamps and riverbanks. They like to wallow in the mud, which helps them cool down, and protects their skin from insect bites. It's an omnivorous animal. They eat everything, including fruit, leaves, roots, small animals and insects. They forage for food on the ground. Sometimes they also use their noses to dig for food. Babirusas are herd animals. Females and their young usually live together, forming small groups. Males, on the other hand, prefer a solitary life, only approaching females during mating season. Number 11. La Palma giant lizard. This is a large lizard species native to La Palma Island in the Canary Islands, where the terrain is rocky with many volcanic areas. It is very suitable for their lifestyle. The body of this creature is relatively long, typically between 60 and 80 centimeters. It has thick scales, giving it a very formidable appearance. The Rapa Nui giant lizard has been largely absent from the public's view for a long time. Many people speculated that this creature might have already gone extinct. The main reason is the invasion of non-native species. For example, cats, mice, or weasels. They destroy the lizard's habitats. In addition, human activities and development have also had a significant impact on their survival environment. However, many sighting reports of this creature subsequently emerged. These reports have re-energized scientists to prevent these lizards from becoming extinct. Protecting their habitats and controlling invasive predators are crucial measures. Some conservation measures include establishing protected areas, limiting human activity, and capturing and managing invasive species such as cats and rats. Number 10. The blue-eyed ground dove. It is a very rare bird, mainly inhabiting specific regions of Brazil. Their calls are soft. They are often seen in the mornings and evenings. This bird is small, measuring only about 15 centimeters in length. Its feathers are mainly reddish-brown. Its wings have small blue spots. Most striking are its bright blue eyes. And that's how it got its name. The blue-eyed dove prefers open grasslands and low bushes, especially in areas with water sources, like small streams or ponds. They typically move around on the ground, primarily feeding on seeds and small insects. This species is very rare, mainly due to the destruction of its habitat. With the expansion of Brazil's agriculture, many forests and grasslands have been cleared for farmland or pasture. The blue-eyed ground dove's homeland has therefore been threatened. Because of this, they have been listed as a critically endangered species, facing extinction. To protect this precious bird, the Brazilian government and several international conservation organizations have begun to take action, establishing nature reserves in their habitat, prohibiting deforestation and overgrazing. At the same time, efforts were made to restore the degraded habitats. The blue-eyed ground dove was once thought to be extinct, since it hadn't been seen for a long time. Until 2015, when a group of ornithologists rediscovered it on a savanna in Minas Gerais, Brazil. This discovery brought great hope to scientists and conservationists. They used field observations and satellite tracking methods. We study the bird's life habits and migration patterns to develop more effective conservation strategies. Number 9. The purple frog. Also known as the pig-nosed frog, is a very interesting frog. It mainly lives in the western Ghats of India. They are deep purple all over. Its body is round and plump. Its skin is very smooth. It looks a bit like a small potato. This creature generally measures around 7 centimeters in length. Its most striking feature is its nose. It looks short and blunt. To some extent, it strongly resembles a pig's nose. Therefore, it is named the pig-nosed frog. The pig-nosed frog likes to eat earthworms and other small invertebrates. For example, insects and larvae. This type of frog likes to dig burrows in the soil. They spend most of their time underground. They rarely appear on the surface, unless it is breeding season. At this time, they will come to the surface. Male frogs will make special calls to attract female frogs. After mating, the female frog will lay eggs in the stream. The eggs hatch into tadpoles and live in the water for a while, until they grow into young frogs and come ashore. Ranked 8th. The kakapo. aka P, also known as the owl parrot, or the kakapo. Also, parts of them resemble owls, so they are sometimes called owl parrots. This is a type of parrot that lives in New Zealand. Its biggest characteristic is that it is the only flightless parrot in the world. It lives entirely on the ground. The kakapo is a large parrot species. Adults can weigh up to around 4 kilograms. Their feathers are mainly green, with some yellow and black spots. This coloring helps camouflage them in the forest, offering better protection. This bird is a nocturnal animal, primarily active at night. During the day, it usually hides in tree hollows or burrows in the ground. Since it can't fly, it can only rely on its strong legs to walk on the ground, or climb trees to eat some fruit. And their breeding method is also special. They only breed once every 3 to 4 years. During the breeding season, the male bird emits a low, dull, thumping sound to attract the female. This special sound can travel a long distance. Kaka parrots were once widespread throughout New Zealand. But since the arrival of humans, their numbers have drastically decreased. This is mainly due to habitat destruction and introduced predators, such as rats and stoats, which pose a threat. These invasive animals prey on their eggs and chicks. In the 1990s, the bird's population dwindled to fewer than 50. To protect this rare bird, the New Zealand government and environmental organizations implemented a series of measures. For example, they established dedicated reserves, relocating the kakapo to predator-free islands. These islands have 24-hour staff monitoring, ensure their safety. In addition, scientists have also engaged in artificial breeding, to help increase their population. Currently, through protection and breeding programs, the population of the kakapo has recovered somewhat, but it remains very rare, only about 200 left. Number 7. Saiga antelope. The saiga antelope is a very distinctive antelope. Its most striking feature is its long nose. This nose is not only unique in shape, but also has a very important function. In the cold winter, their noses can warm the cold air they inhale. And in the hot summer, their noses can filter dust from the air. They prefer to move in herds across open plains. During the day, they rest in the shade, and they feed in the mornings and evenings. These animals mainly inhabit the grasslands and semi-desert regions of Kazakhstan, Mongolia, and Russia. These regions have an arid climate, with large temperature fluctuations. However, they have long adapted to such extreme environments. Ironically, the real threat to them comes from humans. The main threats to the saiga antelope include poaching and habitat loss. Their horns are considered to have medicinal value in some cultures, making them a frequent target for poachers. At the same time, Human activities and climate change are causing a drastic reduction in this creature's habitat. Due to these threats, the saiga antelope population is declining sharply. It has been listed as critically endangered by the International Union for Conservation of Nature. Many countries and organizations are working hard to protect their habitat. Number 6. The New Guinea Singing Dog. The New Guinea Singing Dog. This is a very rare and special breed of dog. It is famous for its unique singing technique. Their vocalizations are different from typical dog barks. It's more like a melodious howl, similar to a wolf's howl, but more complex, with varying tones and rhythms. This breed originates from the highland regions of New Guinea. The region is remote and difficult to reach. Therefore, they are extremely rare in the wild. The New Guinea Singing Dog is of medium size, with a lithe body, and well-developed muscles. Their ears are erect, and their coat is typically golden, reddish-brown, or black. These dogs are very intelligent, with a strong sense of curiosity and desire to explore. They enjoy climbing trees and jumping, showing high energy and agility. In the wild, New Guinea Singing Dogs mainly prey on small mammals, birds, and insects for survival. In most cases, they are artificially raised. They mainly eat dogs. Number 5. The Pinocchio Lizard. Pinocchio lizard, also known as the long-nosed lizard. It mainly lives in the rainforests of Ecuador. This is a very interesting creature. Its most distinctive feature is the male lizard's long nose, which resembles Pinocchio from fairy tales. Hence, it's called the Pinocchio lizard. The main purpose of the long nose is speculated to be attracting females or displaying during courtship. However, scientists are not entirely certain of its specific function. The Pinocchio lizard is active in the trees. They generally live in the upper parts of trees. They mainly feed on insects. They can use their tongues to quickly catch prey, similar to the chameleon. This creature can also change its body color according to its environment. This ability effectively helps them avoid predators. The Pinocchio lizard was first discovered in 1953, but for a long time after that, no one saw them again. Many people thought they were already extinct, until 2005. When scientists rediscovered them in the forests of Ecuador. However, in recent years, due to deforestation and other factors, the Pinocchio lizard's habitat has been threatened. It is now classified as an endangered species. Many conservation organizations are working to protect these lizards and their habitat. Ranked 4th, Ivory-billed woodpecker. The ivory-billed woodpecker is a very distinctive, large bird species that once lived in the forests of the southeastern United States and Cuba. Its appearance is unique, with an ivory-colored bill and black and white feathers, which is how it got the name ivory-billed woodpecker. This bird primarily nested in wetland forests and swampy areas. They like to live in old hardwood and pine trees, because these areas provide abundant food sources, such as beetle larvae and other insects. In the early 20th century, the ivory-billed woodpecker's habitat was heavily logged. Wetlands were drained, leading to the loss of their main habitat. Meanwhile, overhunting also caused their numbers to decline drastically. By the mid-20th century, many people believed that this bird species was already extinct. However, there were still some eyewitness reports and video footage suggesting sightings. For instance, in 2004, some ornithologists in Arkansas reported seeing the ivory-billed woodpecker in the local forests. A blurry video was captured. However, this evidence is inconclusive. There is considerable debate within the scientific community. To date, there is still no definitive proof that the ivory-billed woodpecker still exists. Scientists continue to investigate in some remote wetlands and forests, hoping to find more clues. Third place. Leafy sea dragon. This is a magical and beautiful marine creature. It is mainly distributed in the southern and western waters of Australia. This creature has very unique leaf-like appendages. These appendages look like seaweed or algae. They allow the leafy sea dragon to camouflage itself well in the seabed environment, evading predators. Its name also comes from this. The leafy sea dragon's body length is about 20 to 24 centimeters. Its color is generally yellow-green or orange. The leaf-like appendages on its body are mainly for camouflage. They provide no propulsion. The creature swims using its pectoral and dorsal fins. These fins are nearly transparent, making them difficult to spot. Leafy sea dragons live in shallow waters rich in seaweed and seagrass, and like to hide among these plants, to better camouflage themselves. The leafy sea dragon's reproduction method is also unique. Males are responsible for incubating the eggs. Females lay the eggs in the brood pouch on the male's abdomen. The male carries these eggs for about 4 to 6 weeks, until the young sea dragons hatch. Second place, Honduran white bat. This is a very special type of bat. They are small in size, only about 3.7 to 4.7 centimeters long. Their most distinctive feature is their white fur covering their entire body. Their noses and ears are bright yellow, especially their noses. Its snout looks a bit like a pig's nose. It looks especially cute. This creature mainly lives in the rainforests of Central America. For example, Honduras, Nicaragua, and Costa Rica, etc. They like to rest under the leaves of large plants. These large, broad leaves provide excellent shelter. These creatures are very bright. They will bite small holes in these leaves. Then they fold the leaves. They weave the leaves to form a tent-like structure. Like this, they can rest inside this shelter. This shelter not only protects them from wind and rain, but also from predators, such as snakes and birds of prey. Honduran white bats enjoy living in groups. A small group typically consists of 6 to 10 bats. During the day, they rest inside tents. At night, they come out to feed. These creatures primarily eat fruit, with a particular fondness for figs. They obtain nutrients by sucking the juice from the fruit. First place, megamouth shark. This shark looks a bit like a creature from a sci-fi movie. It is named for its huge mouth. In 1976, the U.S. Navy first captured this oddly shaped shark near Hawaii. The megamouth shark's body is generally dark gray or black, with a relatively lighter colored belly. Its mouth is extremely large. It takes up most of its head. When fully open, the width can reach 1.3 meters. Inside the mouth, there are many small teeth that help it filter food like a sieve. An adult megamouth shark can grow to 4 to 5 meters, and can weigh up to 750 kilograms, about the weight of a small car. The behavior patterns of the megamouth shark are not yet fully understood, but scientists have found that they may approach the surface to feed at night. During the day, they dive into the deep sea. They swim much slower than other sharks. They appear somewhat clumsy. Since their first discovery in 1976, fewer than 100 sightings or catches of megamouth sharks have been recorded worldwide. They are remarkably rare. Alright, that wraps up what I wanted to share with you in this episode. What are your thoughts on these 15 amazing discoveries? Feel free to share your ideas. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe to my channel.